I'm so glad that we're exposing the inceldom in rap culture. And I hope that we can continue to do so because it's more than misogyny. It's more than misogyny. It's the like and it's so difficult having these conversations because it's like they're not incels because they're not like involuntarily celibate, so to say, because like they're having intercourse, but like more times than not, they're paying for the intercourse. And if they're not paying for it, then they're leveraging their position of power and authority to somebody who doesn't have that authority to then, exploit the vulnerability. But it's never like just a mutually agreed, hey, we're going to do this. Or even better, it's never like the girls just gloating over these guys. Maybe it is a handful of times. Maybe it is. But I'm starting to realize the way that they say it, like it is mad hyperbole and exaggeration in a lot of these songs that they be saying. But the reason why it's so important to touch on that is because it's hilarious hearing all these like rappers, not just rappers, but super wealthy people complain about gold diggers. And one thing I'm realizing, it's not the fact that the gold diggers show up first and then just like hound you as long as you have money. The gold diggers are just the ones who are left over after all the actual good people in your life inevitably leave because you end up disrespecting them, thinking that you're better than them or better than respecting them because of your newfound position of power. That's when the power, it's not just money, power gets to our heads, especially people who don't understand how to have that and how to live in a world where they can be naturally powerful and still respectful of the powerless. But to get more into the point that I'm describing here, it's the good people in your life, more times than not, have routines and habits and systems to keep negative, toxic, shitty people out of their environment. Not just out of their circumstance or life, like out of their environment. So when they come across a shitty human being, it's by chance. It's not because they're going out seeking, or it's because they're just literally so vulnerable and so naive to the fact that, hey, there are bad people everywhere in this world and a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing. They're literally setting standards and expectations and reinforcements to make sure they don't engage with you shitty human beings. So as a shitty person, one thing that you might not get, you might think that you're smart and you can manipulate people and you can lie to people and coerce people. You might think that you're cool because of that. You're not, one. But for the point, you think that, you know what, like I could just say my little Riz Carlton, and I'm going to get that girl. I'm going to have that. Whatever the term we're using today's day and age. But you don't realize that there are opportunities that you have probably to expose your shitty behavior, whether it's your arrogance, whether it's your anxiety. I'm not saying that anxiety is bad. I'm just saying like when you project it onto other people, it can be bad. Your anger, your issues, that gets seen out, especially by people who take the time to have those high standards and to do the inner work, because they're not looking necessarily at you. They're looking at you in a position that they've been in or a position that they've seen somebody be in and they've chosen to respond to differently. So, not necessarily because you're a shit person, but to protect their well-being, they're going to now have to address you from a different perspective and probably make different decisions in relation to having a relationship with you. Probably meaning to they don't see you as often, or they don't respect you, or they don't hang out with you, because no interaction is better than any interaction. But if you're somebody who, again, hasn't had access to women or validation, you're not seeing these good people leave your life, especially when there's new girls every night coming to your shows, coming to your hotel. There's new people showing up all the time. And it's like, oh my goodness, like, why would I give a fuck about one hater? Everybody hates me. I got all these people who love me. Let me just focus on them and act like nobody hates me. But again, you forget that the good people have left early. They left the match early. They left the game. They left the seats early. Now the only people who are sitting in them seats along for the ride are the people who know that they're going to get compensated for enduring it. Maybe it's the people who you have happened to have a child with, and know that they can expect from you because you are the parent of the kid that you both of you guys had. But specifically speaking about this like non like parental like gold digger perspective, though, they're only staying there not because they want to be there either. They're just staying there because they know they have an initiative, and the initiative is to get a bag. And maybe they're going to have to put up with your weird ass behavior. Maybe they're going to have to put up with your narcissism. Maybe they're going to have to put up with supporting you in ideas that aren't real, but just like boost your ego. But as long as they're getting a bag, they're hanging out. And why I say that they're the last ones to hang around rather than the first ones to show up is because once you lose them, more times than not, you finally realize that the good people in your life left long before them gold diggers ever did. And now you're so much further away from those good people than you are from the people who could give two fucks about you, but just hung around because of they were able to put up with what was like on the back end of that. So it's interesting when we're not willing to take accountability. We can say, oh, I just got caught by a gold digger and this and that. I'm going to find some new shit. Like, nobody respects me. Nobody loves me. Like, this is all about my money. Girls don't want me. Like, dude, maybe the people who are like respectful and like amazing human beings can see through the money. They can see through your mask. They can see through the status, and they wouldn't even disrespect themselves enough to take money in exchange for putting up with you, or at least not telling you the truth about why they're uncomfortable being around you and don't want to fuck with you. Like, that's how good of people they are. They don't even want to lie to you in exchange for the potential opportunity or resource you can give to them, because they'd rather just get that shit the honest way. And now this leads me into a very, very, very interesting perspective, specifically speaking about Drake. I don't want to make any allegations here. This is all entertainment, alleged, fake, blah, blah. But we'll use somebody like, I guess maybe we'll just throw like an R. Kelly or something. Somebody who just like narcissistic predator perspective. What a lot of these guys do, and something why I think a lot of grown men are like not necessarily even like attracted to children, but why they pursue children. Mind you, I think attraction and pursuit are different, only because pursuit might be with intention, but it also might not come with attraction. It could just come with intention to exploit, or intention to do something to serve the person who has the intention, even if it means nothing to them on like an emotional feeling level. But to get back to the point, when the good people leave your life, and the only people that are validating you are the gold diggers or the people who are willing to put up with you for the money, and then also the guys, like the other traumatized or like adult children boys who support you because of the women who hang around you, and not because you're actually a respectful or a stand-up dude, now the only people you really have access to are the people who will continue to buy your dreams, buy the illusions that you sell them to support the illusion of masculinity, not that you're presenting, but that you think you are. And the only demographic of people that can do that, other than people who are already naive and ignorant enough to think that you are credible in whatever field you're in, are children. So not only, like, we don't even have to make this an issue about like an individual targeting children. We can make this about the narcissist always needing new supply to exploit, no matter what that supply is. And that exploitation of the supply should tell us more about who the narcissist is in their persona, rather than creating an opportunity to blame victims for finding themselves in very vulnerable positions and then being exploited being in those vulnerable positions. Especially when you're a child in that position and the person who's preying upon you is a grown adult to exploit you for their own personal desires. It almost seems wrong. Oh, wait. It fucking is wrong.